Hello friends, I am Surbhi and I welcome you in my channel Key Differences. Today in this video, we will be discussing about the difference between shares and debentures. Well guys, I have already created separate videos on shares and debentures, so I strongly recommend you to watch those videos before watching this one for better understanding of the topic. Links are also provided in the description below. So friends, come let's start the discussion for this topic. After watching this video, you will be able to understand what is meant by shares, what are debentures, and what is the difference between shares and debentures. Shares. The capital of a joint stock company is divided into denomination of equal units called as shares. These shares are offered for sale to the general public so as to raise funds for the company. So, the share represents ownership unit in a company. It is the smallest part into which the capital of a company is divided. The one who subscribes for the shares of the company and is allotted shares by the company is called as the shareholder. Now there are two types of shares: equity shares and preference shares. Equity shares are the shares that carry differential rights as to voting and payment of dividend. The rate of dividend is not fixed, but it depends on the profits made by the company in a particular year. On the other hand, preference shares are the shares that carry preferential rights with respect to the dividend and repayment of capital on the winding up of the company. The rate of dividend in case of preference shares is fixed, but it is paid out of profits only. Debentures. If a company wants to raise loan from general public, it issues debentures. Debentures refers to a debt instrument, usually long term, which is issued by the companies to borrow money from the public at a fixed rate of interest. It is issued under the name of the company, which acknowledges the amount owed by the company, which is equal to the face value of the debentures. The debentures contains the details of rate of interest, mode of payment of interest, and repayment details, that is the redemption of debentures, etc. The person who holds debentures is called the debenture holder, who is the creditor of the company. Difference between shares and debentures. As shares are the unit of ownership in the company, their share capital represents the owned funds of the company. On the other hand, debentures are equal to loan, so they represent the borrowed funds of the company. Status of holders. Shareholders are the real owners of the company. As against, debenture holders represent the creditors of the company. As there is uncertainty of returns in case of shares, so the risk content is high. But in case of debentures, returns are certain, and that is why they are less riskier. Shareholders are the real owners of the company, so they have the right to vote at the AGM, that is annual general meeting. As against, debenture holders do not have the right to attend meetings of the company, so they have no say in the management of the company. Next, rate of return. The rate of return in case of preference shares is fixed, but in case of equity shares, the rate of dividend varies as it depends on the earnings of the company in a particular year. However, in case of debentures, the rate of interest is fixed. Payment of return. Dividend is paid to the shareholders only out of profits. That is, if in a certain year the company has not made profits, then in that year dividend is not paid to the holders. But in case of debentures, the interest is paid to the debenture holders even in case of loss. So they have nothing to do with the profit level of the company. Allowable deduction. As dividend is an appropriation of profit, it is not deductible while determining the taxable income of the company. In contrast, interest is a charge against profit, so it is deductible as an expense. Security. As debentures are generally secured, sufficient fixed assets are required to issue the debentures, but this is not so in the case of shares. Next, balance sheet treatment. Shares appear in the shareholders' fund in the balance sheet, whereas debentures are shown as long-term borrowings in the balance sheet. Conversion. Debentures can be converted into other debentures or shares, but shares cannot be converted into other shares. Repayment. On maturity of debentures, the amount is paid back to the debenture holders. However, in case of shares, preference shareholders get their amount back after a specific term, but equity shareholders are repaid only on liquidation of the company. Order of repayment. Debenture holders are paid off before shareholders, whereas payment to the shareholders are made at the last because they are the owners of the company and they get the residual amount. That is, they get the amount that is left with the company after settling all the claims. Okay friends, this is all for this video. Now if you want to study the topic further in detail, you can visit our official website, that is keydifferences.com. Here you can find a detailed comparison of the shares and debentures along with their meaning, types and the similarities between the two. Links are also provided in the description below. So friends, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please like and share this video, and if you have any queries or feedback for me, don't hesitate to comment below, and please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update from Key Differences.